I spurn your feast, says the Lord. I take no pleasure in your solemnities. Your cereal offerings I will not accept, nor consider your stall-fed peace offerings. But if you would offer me burnt offerings, then let justice surge like water and goodness like an unfailing stream. Time and again in the Bible, in the Psalms, and in this reading here, you hear God saying, I don't want you to come to me with the finest lamb that you have in your fold. I don't want you to come to me with your burnt offerings, your cereal offerings. I could say, I don't want you to come to me with your collection envelope, but Father Jay would kill me. That's okay. What he's saying is, I don't want you to give me these offerings to kind of appease me, like, wink, wink, God, we're okay with each other now, aren't we, even after I did this bad thing? He doesn't want us to do the wrong thing in the first place. He wants to have us live our lives in such a way that he'd be proud to call us his own. He wants us to live lives in such a way that would draw people to us, and not just to us, but to draw people to our church and to our God. He wants us to live lives that are so filled with love and peace and justice that others will be drawn to us, even if they don't understand why. Today we celebrate the feast of St. Junipero Serra. He baptized something like 6,000 people. He was a missionary in Mexico, and when the American Revolution was being fought on the east coast of the United States, he was down in what would now be Mexico, and they heard that the Russians may be coming in from Alaska, coming south to try and claim the land. And so the Spanish said, we're not going to have this. We're going to come up from the bottom, up through California, and head north. And so they went with two generals, one general in the army and one general of the priest. And he went, and as they went, and they went into different lands and claimed them for the Spanish king, they set up missions. Those missions became cities. There were 9 of them that he set up himself, one of which was a little town that grew into what's called San Diego, San Juan Capistrano, and so many other cities in California. They're all are a direct result of this one man's work and those that followed after him. He would not have been able to convert 6,000 people if there wasn't something special about him. But it wasn't something special that they saw when they looked at him. They looked through him and saw Christ. They knew that there was something about this man, and if he was that special, why wouldn't I want to have what he has, that peace in his heart, even in the midst of all of these hardships? That's what God is calling us to do. It's no coincidence that the group that promotes vocations to the priesthood in the city of Pittsburgh is called the Serra Club. It's named after St. Junipero Serra. Whenever the new priests are ordained, they have a dinner and they celebrate because they brought another priest into the fold. And in 2006, I went to that club the year I was ordained, to their dinner, and they asked me to say a few words, and I stood up and I said, I don't usually like to talk for other people, but on behalf of the entire ordination class of 2006 for the Diocese of Pittsburgh, I want to thank you. Well, I was the only person ordained that year. But I happened to be sitting with a wonderful couple. And as I sat down at the table and was talking to them, they said, you're not the only person from Pittsburgh that was ordained in 2006. Our son was ordained in Rome this year. I said, oh my gosh, that's wonderful. What's your name? And they said, Donahue. I was sitting with Father Jay, his mom and dad, and I had no idea who they were. Like St. Junipero Serra, we're called to do what we can to draw people into the life of the church. And how much more do we need it now than ever? And our churches are going to be somewhat empty, even when people start to come back and the pandemic starts to calm down a little bit. It's then that we need to reach out to those people that really need our help. We're doing it down in Ambridge, thanks to you and thanks to the generosity of the people in Ambridge and Baden and Conway, in feeding people that most of whom aren't from our parish. Most of them don't even know anything about Catholicism. But they know that there's something special about these people, that when my kids are hungry and I didn't have anyone to feed them, you were there for me. And they've gone beyond just giving them a box of cereal. There's a group of women from here that goes down, I think, every Friday and cooks a full meal like they would for their kids at home. Yesterday, Father Jack and the others cooked, I think, 223 meals and passed them out on Tuesday night. The work that we do, both in our homes and in our neighborhoods, now more than ever is a way to reach out to other people, to touch lives. And even if they don't ever become Catholic, at least they'll know there's something special about this people. This people must have a God who loves them so much that that love would spill out of them to love others that they don't even know. What better way to evangelize?